Hi everyone, and welcome back at today's analysis. As for now, on the 178th episode, we are going to talk about John Doe, also known as the Joker, as the secondary antagonist in Batman Telltale video game series. One of the most fascinating, to say at least, versions of the Joker ever created, as well as one of the most tragic. This version of the Joker is pretty much just another counterpart who actually has a name and a backstory, at least as much as we get. And in this episode, we're going to talk all that we know about into Batman video game series, Batman Telltale, specifically Season 1 and Season 2, to better understand John Doe and whether he will be a vigilante or the Clown Prince of Crime. And now, let's begin. Now, much about the Telltale's Joker is largely unknown, except for the fact that his real name is John Doe, and he has been put into Arkham Asylum. He himself seems to be unaware of his past and doesn't remember his life prior to being put in Arkham. But all that we know is the fact that he grew up obsessed with the billionaire Bruce Wayne, as he pretty much wanted to become his friend. And that opportunity arrived in Season 1 of Batman Telltale, when Bruce has been hospitalized out there after he had a crisis of psychosis. And after he was beaten by other inmates, John Doe arrived and managed to save him, and forged a friendship with him. And he eventually found his way out of Arkham, and he found out that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and so he wanted to become his partner, becoming a vigilante of sorts. But while as a vigilante, John Doe already shown signs of murderous intent and psychopathy to a certain degree, as he did took sadistic enjoyment in killing other criminals, which contradicts with Bruce's no-kill rule. And pretty much he considered that his friendship with him in a way was genuine because of the fact that he is among the few people besides Alfred who knew about his secret of being Batman, and he genuinely wanted to impress him to become best friends, to actually become like family. But sadly, things have went downhill here, given the fact that he was seduced to the other side by Harley Quinn, who in this timeline she is not his henchwoman, but on the contrary, this Joker is more like a henchman, or at least something like a partner of sorts with her, as Harley Quinn is her own crime lord. And one of the first missions that they got is in hunting down the Riddler, which was discovered dead. And John has taken sadistic enjoyment in all of this, which pretty much only led to his relationship with Bruce going downhill here. But judging by the decisions that the player makes throughout the video game, there are two paths that John Doe will take. Wherever he will become a vigilante and still commit murder, but at least to help the people of Gotham, or the villain path, where he will become the Joker, the arch nemesis of Bruce Wayne's Batman. And so, depends entirely on the player. And now before we continue, we need to stop and ask, is John evil? And I want to put this question because of the fact that while John Doe, obviously he's a psychopath, it should be noted here that this man is one of the most tragic incarnations of the Joker ever created. Given the fact that this man was already a mentally ill patient, he truly cared for Bruce Wayne and even kept his secret as Batman even after becoming the Joker, as well as the fact that he genuinely wanted to be his friend and to become like brothers, because he pretty much didn't have a family prior to that point. But overall, this man was already a psychopath, was already murderous, and he was already creepy to begin with, even before being the Joker. And while I understand that he did meant well, even being a vigilante and killing criminals, he now, as the Joker, kills innocent people just to challenge Bruce Wayne and eventually maybe to force him to kill him or at least to give up on him. And thus the answer is pretty much yes. John is evil, but he's honestly a tragic kind of evil. And at the end of the day, it depends entirely on the player whether he will become a vigilante or pretty much becomes the Joker and starts his own reign of chaos and mayhem throughout Gotham City and becomes Batman's arch nemesis. So in the end, who is John Doe's Joker? He is nothing more but a simple man who went through a massive life of instability and insanity. A man that ultimately did find a stable anchor to reality and tried to attach himself to it in his own twisted way, but only to find himself drawn to insanity. And a man that could either become a murderous anti-hero or a murderous criminal. And overall, a simple man that crazy be called as, perhaps in my opinion, one of the most memorable video game villains ever created. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give a like, share and subscribe, and have a nice day.